Hello everyone and welcome to Ginger Prime. My name is Brian, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, Soul Nation. I cast a spell of Protect against Mind Flayers for you, just for subscribers only. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, so thanks for being here, and thanks for hitting that subscribe button if you feel like I earn it with this video. In today's guide, we're going to be diving into the world of Baldur's Gate 3. I am a controller player, and one of the great things about Baldur's Gate, it allows you to switch easily between mouse and keyboard and controller play. So whether you're going to be on a PC or if you're actually going to be playing this like on a console at some point, you do have a lot of availability, a lot of options, and it's going to be the goal and focus of this guide to kind of introduce you to the game, introduce you to the controls, talk about what options are available to you, show you how to play this game on, especially on a controller, and kind of walk through the first mission, because I got stuck a couple of times on this first mission, and that's going to be the flow of the guide. If you want to jump to any specific part of this video, you can always look in the description or in the playhead on YouTube to be able to jump to any specific section. So that's going to be where we start, and that's going to be what we do here with it. If you're interested in my opinions about this game as I continue to play it, let me know in the comments below. But pretty much I'm going to just kind of focus in on teaching you guys the basics. So first things first, let's go ahead and dive into the game itself. As you can see here, I'm using a controller. Left stick moves, right stick turns, pretty basic stuff. If you hit the Y button, you're going to actually go into your pretty much your hotbar here, in which you'll have several different items. You can actually press start and go into your options option, and here you can have a lot of different settings. So if we just jump into gameplay, I'm going to show off a couple of things that you might be interested in. Really up to you as far as it goes. If you want to use the metric system or the empirical system, you have the option to choose that here as well. And then you also have the ability to add and auto add things to your containers bar, to your pretty much your hotbar. So it's really going to be up to you. You really have a lot of control. I've pretty much turned everything on except for the add containers to the bar. But I want to point this out because it's like, how do things get set to your hotbar? Well, if you want to have it set automatically, you can do so. While we're in the settings, you have a lot of keybinds. You have a lot of controller options. In fact, if I go and take the mouse and just wiggle it, you can see here now I've lost the controller section, and I just have those keybinds. If I go ahead and move the controller itself, the controller becomes back up, and I can kind of play around with that. That's all it takes to do to switch. You don't have to do anything else fancy in this game is to switch. So if I actually just show you the regular game UI on a mouse, you can see here I've got access to more of my hotbars and more skills. And so on a controller, you might be sitting here going, well, how do I do that? Where are those options, and how do I play around with that? So let's switch back to the controller, and let's hit Y to go into kind of our hotbar. You'll see here when I'm in the toggle hotbar option, I can press left bumper or right bumper. If I press left bumper, you're going to see a lot of awesome skills here. And this is where I got tripped up originally. You're going to see jump. You're going to find like ways that the game will prompt you to do things, and being that it's early access, maybe that will become more dynamic as the game goes on. But you can see jump, you can see dip, shove, hide, throw, dash, knock unconscious, help, main hand attack, cleave, ranged attack, and pin down. And then pressing left bumper again, I can see my opportunist attack here, so I have that option as well. Pressing B will return my control to the game itself. So as I run up, let's say if I want to look at this Mind Flayer pod, I can press the A button to interact with it. I can also press the X button to bring up a context sensitive menu. So if I could attack it, if I could do other things like that, I can see it listed here. But you're not limited to that. If I still wanted to go ahead and attack this option, I can pull up my menu bar, I can switch over here to attack, and I could go ahead and say attack the pod, and my character will do such a thing. So you're not limited just because it doesn't show up on a context sensitive bar by those actions. And I think honestly that's really, really cool. Further controls here, we can press the select button or the back button on Xbox, and you can now go into turn-based mode. And this will cover the combat section here in a little bit, but you can see here, it's going to let you move. If I go ahead and say move 17.7 feet, which I am apparently still in empirical, I can move, and you can move up until your movement is depleted, which is that yellow bar in the corner. It's going to tell you that you don't have enough movement, and we'll cover a little bit more of this here in the combat tutorial. Now I'm just going to hold B to end turn. It's going to go look and see if anybody within range has a turn to process, and then it's going to return control back to me as well. Now I can go ahead and press that select button, and then I am back and I'm out of turn-based combat. Okay. Hopefully that gives you a good look at what to expect from the controls. And I completely just forgot two options. You can hold down left trigger, and as you have people in your party, you'll be able to select and control them individually as so. You can also hold down the right trigger, and this is going to give you a whole list of new options. Your inventory, your spell book, your character sheet, your quests, your map, your combat log, if you can camp, which you can't right now here in the tutorial, and your equipment, plus you can press Y for a short rest. So there you go. That should be all the controls. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're not going to show any of the dialogue options here in this guide at this point. I'm just going to go and kind of step through the story, and then I'm going to point out some things that kind of cut me off guard to hopefully help you clear the story and the path itself. And so before I do that, just note that anytime you see these nice little blue restoration pods, you can actually use these and heal yourself if you step into the fire and get yourself hurt. So let's go ahead and jump in forward in time to a couple of gotcha moments as a part of the main tutorial quest, because one of the things I do really appreciate it is it's a kind of double-edged sword. The game does tell you about it in ways. So it's not like holding your hand completely, and it lets you kind of try to figure things out, which can be a plus and a minus. I find it as a plus, but I did find myself getting a little frustrated as I continued to just kind of can run over and over and over again to find different things. So, say hello to the future. So after a little bit of dialogue and a different cutscene and a few different options, you're going to find yourself back in this main room, and you're going to wander all the way down the left side of this giant ship. This is where I first got tripped up. I was trying to figure out how and where to go, and on the controller, obviously I didn't necessarily see that I had a jump command. Here's where you just want to press your Y button. You want to toggle all the way over to jump, and then you want to aim your target to be able to get that jump, and now you can continue on your adventure. So keep that in mind. That's one of the first things that caused me a little bit of frustration, especially in the tutorial, and so there we go. Alright, so now we're about to jump into some combat. You can see here that I've now got a party of 3 on my side, and the enemy is in this case surprised. So this is where it's going to automatically enter me into turn-based combat, and you can see I have a couple different options for movement. If I was able to reach a different enemies, in this case this imp, I can actually press the X key and say attack. What this is going to do, it's going to have my target or my party member move if they're within range and be able to attack. So if I just go ahead and just like position them right here, they're going to move there automatically, and then I can hold B to end my turn. Same thing with all the different characters. You can see they all have their own toggle bar, and this is where again I can hold down the left and I can see who is available and easily switch between the targets. But I'm on this character now, so let me go ahead and pick them and select my different target. So with my party stage, I can actually come and run up and attack this target, this imp now, by saying claws. And my little brain guy ran through some fire, ended up getting hurt by it, but it's okay. He ended up running a critical roll and has now taken out the imp. From here, I can press X to go ahead and loot the character. I can examine them, and I can pick up everything, take anything, and do any kind of additional actions that I need. But he's still got a little bit of movement speed left in him, so I can go ahead and see if I want to try to position him in a different spot as well. And I'll go ahead and just say, yes, I'll do that right here. I'll move him this way, and then I'll go ahead and end his turn. So now that I actually have a full party, one of the things you can do as a part of this game, you can actually select them and say ungroup. This will have them not move with you, which ends up giving you a lot of freedom and tactical placement later on in the game. So just kind of keep in mind that you do have the full control to group and ungroup different individuals. So we won that battle. Let's go ahead and continue on, and I'm going to show you the next spot that I ended up getting a little bit blocked on. Oh, and also don't forget to heal. So as you make your way to the helm, which you'll hear that word repeated over and over again, you're eventually going to come up to this mucus membrane. This is one of those items that you can attack as well, so just make sure that you run up to it. It's going to automatically put you into attack mode, which is really nice. However, sometimes there could be a bug or two listed here. If you end up running into a bug, you can always switch to another character that is without, outside the range, so that way you can kind of move around and go ahead and attack it. But those are the two things that really kind of tripped me up as a part of the this version of the game, this early access version. And hopefully I've explained the controls. Hopefully I've explained what you have available to you. If you have any other questions about this game, anything that you want me to explore more in depth, let me know in the comments below. If you feel like I've earned it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come back for more videos, tutorials, and guides, especially around video games, especially RPGs, as those tend to be the games that I really love to focus in on. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for being here. For Ginger Prime, my name's Brian. Hopefully you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in my next video. And shout out to Willie, who just recently hit the join button, helping me support my family and supporting the diaper fund for just $1 a month. Willie, you're incredible. The rest of my members are incredible. We've got some new emotes on the way for you guys, and you can actually drop them in the comments below. If you're a member and you made it to this part of the video, leave me some emotes in the comments. That way I can thank you properly for your support and for being here for this Baldur's Gate video. Anyhow, like I said, my name's Brian. Hopefully you have a fantastic day. I love you much, and I'll see you next time. Take care. This video is sponsored by me, Ginger Prime. Hopefully you'll check out my podcast channel, Ginger Gaming Radio, which we have lots of guests, lots of great conversations, and even more highlights. Links are in the description below. Let me know what you think. Thanks.